Introducing CLIL, Content Language Integrated Learning. Thank you for tuning in to NCKU TESOL podcast. This video is brought to you by NCKU Department of Foreign Languages and Literature. As many of you may have heard, the Tainan city government is introducing English as a second official language, and one of the early policies to promote that is through bilingual education, starting with elementary schools. Now, this new policy will obviously affect a lot of people, so whether you are a student, a teacher, or a parent, you might all be asking the same question: what is CLIL? We did a quick survey on and around NCKU campus and interviewed a bunch of students, local and international, to see if they knew what CLIL is. Unfortunately, none of them were able to give us the right answer. If you're in the same boat as them, well, don't panic, because we're going to show you what it is in just 5 minutes. David Marsh, a professor from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland, first coined the term CLIL in 1994. Short for Content Language Integrated Learning, CLIL is a new way of learning that combines content or subject matter and language teaching in the classroom.
CLIL is related to the following terminology: CBI, or Content-Based Instruction. It is the general term referring to the teaching of language through content. EMI, on the other hand, is a term used in higher education to refer to the teaching of subject matter in English. ESP is a language course that equips students with specialized language skills. And finally, bilingual education programs teach content knowledge in both a native and a secondary language.
According to Francisco Lorenzo, the early development of CLIL in Europe is a variation of immersion education based on the concept that CLIL should be used as a tool for learning non-language subjects in a way that the L2, or the target language, can be integrated within the subject matter and maintain a consistent dual focus. Researchers in the past have raised the following questions about CLIL. 1. Can CLIL lead to L2 competence while mitigating content knowledge displacement? 2. Can CLIL enhance metalinguistic awareness and allow students to transfer what they've learned? To answer these questions, we have to first understand the guiding principles and goals of CLIL.
The 4 guiding principles of CLIL are the 4 C's: content, communication, cognition, and culture.
And the major goals of CLIL are to help students improve their overall target language competence, develop oral communication skills, deepen awareness of both L1 and L2, develop plurilingual interests and attitudes. It also aims to introduce a target language and increase students' metalinguistic awareness. In fact, a great deal of studies have shown that students in the CLIL program do as well as, or even better, than their counterparts in a traditional curriculum.
There are many arguments for and against the incorporation of CLIL into academic curriculum. Now, let's hear from Tainan's Chief Consultant, Chris Caputo.
According to Chris, Tainan is implementing bilingual education because of the global push for English as a lingua franca. The CLIL approach is highly communicative and flexible. Teachers have the freedom to develop their own lesson plans. The 2+6 program will see 2 elementary schools go fully bilingual and 6 others having some form of CLIL curriculum.
As Professor Dr. Chang Yao-Wu points out, teaching content in English is necessary since graduate students should be trained to read research papers in English. Also, making students understand is much more difficult than using English to teach. A professor of mathematics, Dr. Jiang, believes the difficulty lies in taking too much time in delivering the content to students because translation may not be enough to convey the meaning and content. Furthermore, he believes the policy of implementing CLIL or EMI have to wait until the time when both the teachers and the students reach a certain level of English proficiency. Dr. Chen, an interior design professor at Tongfang University, believes that if the English proficiency of both the teachers and the undergraduate students is not up to par, the learning process may be impeded. He also thinks that materials should be developed before the implementation of EMI courses and that an English teacher will need to be present in the classroom, which may decrease efficiency. Dr. Ye, an ESP professor, believes that it is sometimes difficult to find content teachers who are willing to cooperate. They may think that the subject matter is too complicated or they may simply be too busy. In her experience, there have always been teachers who have valued ESP courses. However, she believes that it does help the language teacher to be familiar with content.
As Chris mentioned, CLIL means different things to different people. Think of CLIL as a continuum where on one side we have soft CLIL, which is language focused, and on the other, hard CLIL, in which content is the primary focus. If you are a teacher, you can find a balance between the two. You can also utilize translanguage instruction to help your students understand better. The opinions expressed in the video reflect the progress and direction of CLIL development in Tainan City. The attitudes, expectations, and beliefs of all parties involved will have profound influence on CLIL implementation. We hope after watching this video, you would have a better understanding of CLIL. This is the end of this podcast. Thank you for listening.